Tonight, Guyana launches Media and Communication Academy as President Ali recommits to respecting freedom of the press. Schools may remain open during July-August break to combat learning loss, says MANICKCHAND. Students caught selling drugs in schools in Region 9. Sugar estate worker remanded for killing wife, burying body in shallow grave. And mother pleas for financial support as 10-year-old forced to undergo life-changing surgery in India. Now for the news in detail. The government of Guyana, in observance of World Press Freedom Day, today hosted a national conference and symposium at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, where a Guyana Media and Communication Academy was officially launched. Amar Prasad reports.
In light of World Press Freedom Day, the Guyana government on Tuesday launched the Guyana Media and Communication Academy, which aims to empower and professionalize Guyana's media. Speaking at the World Press Freedom Day National Conference and Symposium, Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, highlighted that the Academy was evolved from his 2021 budget speech for the consideration of the establishment for a broadcasting academy.
We in the Office of the Prime Minister have spent the past few months toiling over the birthing of a new facility that can facilitate bridging of the many skill and learning gaps that must be quickly addressed to allow practitioners and the fraternity as a whole to grow and flourish hand in hand with the country. What started out as an active consideration for the establishment of a broadcasting academy, as was intimated in my 2021 budget speech in the National Assembly, has evolved fulsomely into what will be the groundbreaking Guyana Media and Communication Academy, a virtual academy that works in the interest of our media practitioners. To ensure that the academy facilitates world-class learning and certification across the widest possible spectrum of the industry-related areas of study, we have partnered with one of the world's leading virtual learning platforms, Coursera, to make the Academy a dynamic virtual institution of reputable credence.
The minister noted that through the collaboration, every single media practitioner of the media spectrum in Guyana, as well as the diaspora, will have access on an annual basis to learning licenses paid for by the government.
Those licenses will allow you to pursue selections from among more than 2,000 world-class courses at various levels of certification from leading partner universities in the world, including the Ivy League institutions. The Academy's continuous media education program will allow for the streamlining of graduates into professional grades of practice at the level of professional, specialist, and expert practitioner, based on successful completion of prescribed menus of courses on the learning platform accessible through the licenses.
Meanwhile, joining the event in a virtual message, Kevin Mills, who is a representative from Coursera, noted that Guyana, in an initiative launched in 2020, stood out as one of the top 3 countries in the world in terms of successful graduate per capita.
We at Coursera are deeply humbled to be the government of Guyana's partner in this high-impact initiative. When we launched our pro bono Coursera for Workforce Recovery initiative with over 100 countries back in 2020, Guyana stood out as one of the top 3 countries in the world in terms of successful graduates per capita, with over 50,000 course certificates issued across a wide range of domains in just a few months. The energy and commitment of Guyanese learners demonstrates a hunger for learning and positions Guyana as a model for other countries. It is a strong testament to Guyana's innovative leadership that they aim to match the skills needed of the country with the growing ambitions of its people, as Guyana ushers in a new era of national development.
The official logo for the Guyana Media and Communication Academy was unveiled at the event under the theme Upskilling Today for Guyana's Tomorrow. For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
Amar Prasad joins us again to report that President Dr. Irfan Ali has assured that his government has no intention of using modern technology such as spyware to monitor media operatives or the population as a whole. Here are the details.
We must not invent problems and issues where it does not exist. This government has no intention whatsoever. It is not even contemplated my mind to move in any direction, to have any spyware or wyware or anything to spy on anyone. That is farthest from my thought. I have not even imagined something like that. So take it out even your imagination out. It will never happen, at least under this government.
That was President Dr. Irfan Ali speaking at Guyana's World Press Freedom Day National Conference and Symposium held at the Arthur Young Conference Center on Tuesday. The president was at the time responding to comments made by the president of the Guyana Press Association, Nazima Ragubir, who called on the government to assure journalists and media houses that they do not utilize spyware. President Ali noted, wherever these acts exist, it should be rooted out, as no government should be spying on its population. He stated that he believes in full press freedom and is not afraid of criticism.
I believe in the full freedom of the press. I am open from leadership to criticism, constructive criticism. My favorite part in any newspaper is the cartoonist. We have to celebrate them because in a single cartoon they can send the most powerful message. And I love it, even when I'm the subject of it.
Meanwhile, speaking on the theme of the 2022 World Press Freedom Day, Journalism Under Digital Siege, President Ali explained that while the digital age allows the world to see everything as it is, said and done, it also brings dangers and challenges.
Digitization and technology. On one hand, you have the ability to improve efficiency, enhance reach, give you more value for money, enhance effectiveness, give you speed, increase and improve transparency. It is action-oriented. It is action-oriented. On the other hand, you have the issues of privacy, responsibility, rawness. Very, very critical issue. Sometimes you see something on social media that is so raw. You have the issue of security and the misuse of technology. And then you have the issue of freedom also.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
We now tell you that in recognition of this day, the ABCE diplomats, United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and European Union, have taken the opportunity to hail the important role the media plays in Guyana, while urging greater protection and facilitation for them. Rupa Sinarain tells us more.
U.S. Ambassador Sarah Ann Lynch, British High Commissioner Jane Miller, Canadian High Commissioner Mark Berman, and EU Ambassador Dr. Fernando Pons Canto joined to observe World Press Freedom Day under the theme Journalism Under Digital Siege. In their message, the diplomats noted that this day gives the opportunity to acknowledge the significant work of journalists and the fundamental principles of press freedom. According to the diplomats, media plays an essential role in societies by defending and advancing the truth and amplifying the voices of the public. Their statement read, quote, "Journalists have been at the forefront in times of danger in Guyana, including during incidents such as fires and flooding, and they tell the heartbreaking stories of women and families who have been victims of domestic violence. Members of the media are a key source of information on national topics such as Guyana's rapid development, while at the same time holding government, opposition, parliamentarians, and others accountable." Unquote. With Guyana's resource estimate for oil nearing 11 billion barrels and Exxon's anticipation of at least 6 projects offshore Guyana going online by 2027, the diplomats made it clear that it has never been more important than now for the media to play its part when it comes to accountability. It was also emphasized that journalists must be allowed to report facts freely without attacks and acts of intimidation or censorship. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
The extent of learning loss through the pandemic is being measured now that schools have fully reopened, and the Education Ministry is contemplating continuing classroom activity during the months of July and August to counter worrying trends. Here is Rupa Sinarain again with the details.
Education Minister MANICKCHAND communicated on Tuesday that schools across the country are physically prepared to accommodate students. Since last Monday, normal class activities resumed after getting the green light from officials. Upon visiting some institutions, the minister said some worrying scenarios were detected, pointing to significant learning loss. The reopening has provided an environment for authorities to gauge the degree of learning loss suffered during the 2 years of school closure.
We are ready physically for these children to come back into school. What I am seeing, and this is just cursory glances at what's happening, year 2 nursery children couldn't pronounce or couldn't identify letters and sound out the short vowel sounds. That's very worrying. Because at this point, 3rd term and year 2, they should be reading. These kids are going to go into grade 1.
To address the academic issues, diagnostic tests have already been executed. Now the ministry is also mulling to keep schools opened during the July-August break to tackle the learning loss shown.
We have real issues academically to pursue. We are administering or have already administered diagnostics. That's to check to see where students are relative to where they should be, and that's how we're going to be teaching. All students are supposed to be going back a level, and I don't think people fully appreciate what 2 years of school closure has done. We have to find ways to make sure these children get exposed to the hours of education they need, that we have parents who are interested and the attitudes are right. We may have to work into July, August. How we do that will have to be dependent on who's willing to work and all of that. But, that's very worrying.
Consolidation of the curriculum has enabled educators to include content from one school year below the current grade level. For the first 20 weeks of the school year, classrooms will get exposed to the previous year's work and then followed by 20 weeks of their substantive year material. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Coming up, health authorities alert after new and infectious Omicron strains circulate and outsiders coming into Region 2 to commit crimes, says Commander. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. we are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand, the Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony says government will be on alert to monitor the progress of 2 new Omicron variants, which have proven highly infectious and capable of evading immunity against COVID-19. Rupasina Ryan tells us more.
2 new Omicron variants have been the cause of increased infections in South Africa, with detections already reported in the United States. The BA4 and BA5 strains have shown to evade vaccines and immunity from being previously infected. Today, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has informed that only persons who are up to date with the vaccination will have superior protection from these new strains.
One thing that is coming out is that even if you've had an infection in the past with Omicron, that BA4 and 5 seems to be evading your immune response. So if you had a previous infection, it evades that. And even with vaccination, it can also evade those defenses. However, what they're noticing is that if you're up to date with your vaccines, then more than likely you would have a milder form of the infection.
Vaccination statistics show 440,451 first doses and 339,754 second doses being administered across the adult population. This is approximately 85.9% and 66.2% respectively. Meanwhile, 25,289 second doses, or 34.7% of the adolescent category, have been completely vaccinated. Booster doses stand at 62,649 shots.
We have seen a slowdown in the 12 to 17 age group. And we think it can be attributed to a number of factors, which include parents not giving permission, not having ready access to children, and so forth. So we think there is an opportunity with school now open that we'll be able to reach a lot more children. We'll be able to provide them with letters that they can take to their parents to get permission. And hopefully that permission will be granted and we'll be able to administer the vaccine to these children.
Only one COVID-19 patient is hospitalized in Guyana. That person is being treated in the intensive care unit of the Infectious Diseases Hospital, East Coast Demerara. Guyana has 122 active cases that are being monitored. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
An Albion sugar estate worker was today remanded for allegedly killing his wife and burying her body in a shallow grave not far from their home. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the man was unrepresented and no family members turned up for the court proceedings.
55-year-old Armanen Pamal of Lot 73 First Street, Kilcoy, Chesney, Quarantine, appeared before Magistrate Renita Singh at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court and was not required to plead to the indictable charge, which says that between April 21st and 22nd, he murdered Weirnimati Parmal called Datalin. Parmal was a mother of 4 children, including famous West Indies left-arm spinner Versamri Pamal. According to the water attendant, who was attached to the Albion Sugar Estate, he lived in the upper flat in their Kilcoy home and his wife lived in the lower flat. Police prosecutor Corporal Chanel Mackerson told the court that the police were not finished with the file and needed a further 3 weeks. As such, he was remanded until May 31st when the matter comes up again for a police progress report. It has been transferred to the Albion Magistrates Court. He was unrepresented and family members nor did other interested persons attend the court hearings. Detective Corporal Aaron Siegabin charged Pamal after the man reportedly confessed to killing his wife and burying her body in a shallow grave. Pamal reportedly confessed of the crime, telling the detective that on the day the woman went missing, he was in the yard in close proximity to the woman's bedroom when he overheard her on the phone speaking to a male. Upon hearing the conversation between his wife and the man, he immediately confronted her in the bedroom and an argument ensued. He said he physically assaulted her by cuffing her about the body. He also confessed to choking the woman until she became motionless. He also reportedly told the detective that soon after, he recalled seeing blood on her body. He then wrapped his wife's body in a bed sheet, left her on the floor and went into a plot of land which is about 100 yards opposite their home. There he dug a shallow grave. He reportedly told the detective that he returned to the house where he dragged his wife's body into the hole and then went back to his home and went about his normal life. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
Police have found that school-aged children in Region 9 are engaged in the sale of illicit drugs. This has prompted swift action by police officers in the division, which has led to the arrest of the adults suspected of giving the minors the narcotics to sell. Luanda McAllister has the details.
Regional Division 9 Superintendent Raphael Rose, during a recent police outreach in Karasabai District, said that ranks were informed by a teacher of a teen boy being accosted with drugs while at school. The teenager, he noted, indicated that an adult was giving him the narcotics to sell. Commander Rose said ranks interviewed the child and were able to arrest the adult. There were also a similar case in Anai District, he revealed, adding that police received information about persons selling drugs at the Anai Secondary School.
We would have had an outreach with the school, and then one of the teachers would have gave us that information. We went on to interview those children, and then we gathered information, and then we were able to arrest the adult that is peddling the drugs into the school.
In an effort to fight the drug scourge, Commander Rose said there will be constant follow-ups with schools.
We continue to follow up with the schools by keeping daily outreach with them, sensitize them in different areas, just not drugs alone, but teenage pregnancy. Because this is also an area that sometimes at schools we have reports of teenage pregnancy. So we have a continuous structure to work with the schools, work with all the youths in the region.
He said that police in the division have a continuous structure to work with schools and all the youths in the region. To this end, an outreach was recently held at the playground in Lethem, during which police ranks encouraged youths to do meaningful things with their lives and take part in the police force's training program. Most of them, Commander Rose said, signaled their intention of joining the program. Luanda McAllister reporting for the Evening News.
Regional Commander of Region 2, Shiv Prasad Bacchus, said most crimes in his division are committed by offenders from other areas. As such, works are afoot to reduce these cases. Here is Luanda McAllister again with the details.
Commander Shiv Prasad Bacchus said there is now a greater requirement for collaboration with other stakeholders and the other regions to clamp down on these offenders. So far, he said their efforts are working in their favor due to the partnerships they have built.
Recently, we had a alleged robbery right in Cottonfield area, and we would have trailed that individual. Unfortunately, he jump out of the vehicle at some part of the line. Not the police, but the civilian would have given chase in regards of that. Having said that, we would have communicate with myself and the detective inspector, communicate with Region 3. There's a commander, the inspector, the CID ranks over there. Ranks were at the station, Parika, and at the Stellan. waiting until the boat to go there, because we were told that the individual was on the boat. Unfortunately, when the rank checked, we didn't find him. So it works well with us, we having that collaborative effort within the region.
The commander added that in some cases, some of the perpetrators would have to be tracked into the backlands. However, he said that his division is equipped to deal with such cases.
I'm a month old in the region. With that said, is only one incident we had so far, and the lead led us to Supana, unfortunately not in the backlands. However, our resources are capable enough, and whatever we have, to go into the backlands. There are areas which we can't touch because of the dense forests and the roadways. It's been down. Those areas been damaged either by tractor and so forth, and so our four-wheel pickups can't go way into that area, like 6 miles down and so forth. But once it's around the area, yes, we have the resources to deal with it.
In an effort to fight the crime surge in the region, Commander Baca said his aim is to get the youths in the community along with other residents involved.
We believe that if we have the youths involved and get them from an early age, we can build a better relationship within this region by reaching out to the youths. We also have the part when we develop our people in regards of the partnership. Development people comes with academics, and as I mentioned earlier, the academic part in the 14 areas that we are doing through IDC and in partnership with the University of Guyana. And of course, the infrastructure. The infrastructure now is to help our ranks and file to feel more comfortable to discharge the duties.
Reporting for the Evening News, Lawanda McAllister.
Grace Ramdal, mother of 10-year-old Rakna Rukram, a cancer patient in need of a bone marrow transplant, is appealing to the public for assistance to cover some of the cost of her daughter's life-changing surgery in India. Shane Marks has this story.
1 month ago, 10-year-old Rashana Rukram was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, AML, a common type of cancer that can worsen at a rapid speed if not countered with immediate treatment.
All she had was some vomiting and fever. That's what she went in with. And, from test to test, it was diagnosed with the cancer, and she's been in the hospital ever since. She never, got out and got in back. She's in the hospital from the time she got diagnosed with the cancer.
Harsi Ramdial and her 10-year-old daughter, Roshana, have left for India, where Roshana is expected to undergo life-changing surgery to combat her life-threatening illness. This surgery is very expensive, and the heartbroken mother is crying for help from the public to help save her daughter's life.
It's been really hard. It's been hard emotionally, financially, and, any way you can think of, being in a hard position, that's how it has been. So the most that we can try to do is try to get her help, and we need help in order to get her help, because her treatment is very expensive, and there is no treatment for her here in Guyana. So the best option is in India.
Ramdial explained that thanks to famous renowned cricketers Shivnarine Chandrapal and Brian Lara, Roshana now has the option to fly to India, where she could possibly undergo a bone marrow transplant if a match is found.
Well, I have a document, from the hospital in India showing the amount of money for the hospital bill.
$127,500 translates to $26,686,553 Guyana dollars.
I'm asking, I'm begging the public to help us out in any way that they put every little bit counts. And in order to give her a new lease of life, we really need to get that treatment done in India. All right? And it's like Brian Lara and Shivnarine Chandrapal, they already play a part in having the hospital waiving the fees. Right? So I think that buys us some time in order for the public to help us. So I'm really depending on the public to help us to save Roshana's life.
A GoFundMe page has already been organized by the child's uncle for monetary donations. Persons willing to offer assistance to Roshana can reach out to our father, Vishnu Ramruk, on 651-6977. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is expected to be closed on Wednesday, May 4, 2022 at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, Suburbies River Bridge is expected to be closed on Wednesday, May 4, 2022 at 5 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Nicholas Pooran appointed West Indies white ball captain, and Arrowhead League brings the heat over weekend. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MACCORP, coming up on the other side of the break.
With unlimited games to choose from, you can be a winner with Superbet. Choose from our virtual sports, live betting, sports betting, live roulette, and much more. Place your bets at www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 and over. Play responsibly.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, Step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218 in
So rich, so creamy. Devon creams on the inside makes your day bright on the outside. Devon creams, many ways to smile, smile. You say, I say, we say. Have your fill today. So rich, so creamy. Have your fill today. Devon creams, have your fill today.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MACCORP. Cricket West Indies today confirmed the appointment of Nicholas Pooran as the West Indies